How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a little scouting slash shed hunting. I'm not sure if the bucks have dropped their horns yet. Hi, Mama. I'm not sure if the bucks have dropped their horns yet, but we're going to get out here and see if we can come across any fresh sign. There's this transition area that I've wanted to scout for a couple years on my family's main farm. Ever since I've kind of started this new hunting style, I haven't checked out this area, and I've always kind of overlooked it. So I'm gonna get out here and check it out. And if we find some sheds while we're looking at it, we find some sheds. So it is February 23rd or February 24th, so they might have dropped them, they might not have. So got the little one with me. He's getting a little stir crazy. It's been raining all week, so we're gonna check it out. Y'all stay tuned. Okay, so here is that little area that I was talking about. So if you can see over here, it's kind of a little grown-up field area, and then it transitions into these pines here, and then right off it drops into it starts to drop off into the river bottom down there. And the river's a pretty long ways that way, but it drops off, and then there's just a huge hardwood flat down there. Just huge hardwood flat down there. Be careful, okay? And then, I don't know if you can see it, there's an extremely heavy trail coming in and out of this area. It's almost too heavy. I think it might be pigs, but I have found a couple deer tracks. Then I found a rub on this tree as well. So I think it's possible that deer are using this area. I haven't found anything that looks just like super good bedding, but I think deer are definitely using this little spot. So this might be an area where I could put a camera and just see what uses it. So I'm coming off of that trail there. Found another little rub there. This trail crosses right here. Found an old rub there. These are all old. It could have been this season, possibly. But this is what I was hoping to find in this little spot. And it's about to come down our old logging road down here. So maybe I can find where they're crossing this logging road. But I'm gonna work this whole edge, kind of on the edge of this ridge here. It's an area that I've never really hunted, so I'm gonna work this whole edge and see what I find. So this is right on that hard transition here. And I say hard transition, it's kind of a soft transition. These pines just slowly fade into a hardwood flat. And where it comes together, I'm starting to find some sign here. So this is a rub line here. If you can see it there, rub there, there's a rub on that tree. And there's a rub on that little tree right up there too. So there's like 3 rubs on this little transition line here. And I'm gonna go up here and see what this fence crossing looks like. It's also a good place to maybe find a shed. You can see there's a good rub there. And there should be a good fence crossing. Pretty good little fence crossing. See if it's got any hair. No hair there. No hair. It's a pretty good little fence crossing. And this transition is going to run right up that way towards James up there. So we're just going to work it straight through there. I'm coming, bud. So let's see what we find. Come back this way. Okay, so I've found a definite trail going down this transition line. I found just a rub here and there on it, but it's a pretty decent little trail for the deer density that we have here. Kind of get down at deer level through here. Tuck just crossed it. It just kind of runs down this transition, and I'll show you on the map what this looks like. But it's not very evident here. But you can kind of see pines here, and then maybe a little bit more open hardwoods over there. And it's just a gradual ridge. I mean, not a huge ridge, but it's definitely a trail with some sign on it. So this is something that I might just come in here with my little mobile setup or hunt from the ground. and see if any deer use this. Right as I'm talking, I see another rub here. Let me zoom in there. Right there, there's another rub. So, I haven't found anything what I would call beds. But I'm gonna keep looking, maybe in this little area right in here, and see what I can find. Like I say, I've been hunting this place my whole life and never really scouted this ridge before. So I'm gonna see if I can find any beds in this little area right here. So I'm done scouting that ridge. I didn't find any sheds, but I found some pretty decent intel that I might try to hunt next year. I've had a lot of trouble killing bucks with my bow on this property, and I think it's because I'm stuck in how I've always hunted it. So next year I'm going to try to hunt it completely differently and see what that produces. So now I'm going to go to an area where I think we might have a better shot of finding some sheds maybe. This is a primary scrape area with some bedding around it, and it's an area that I've always hunted, but I'm going to try to approach it differently. I hunted it twice this past season, and didn't see any bucks either time, but there's buck sign everywhere. So I'm going to take a look around and see what I'm missing that could maybe get me closer to these bucks. This is in a thicker pine area. There's just this little run of hardwoods. I don't know why they're there. It doesn't, you know, there's no topography change, it's completely flat. But there's just a little stretch of oaks that run through there. So I'm gonna go down it, see what I can figure out, maybe walk into some areas that I usually wouldn't walk into. So let's see what we can find. Here's another example of some soft edge that the deer use. You can look this way, thick wall of brush, and it meets this little open area that's just a little different. And then right over there, it's thick. There's a scrape line through here that these deer have been hitting since I was a little kid. There's a heavy trail that just kind of runs down this, he's getting tired, down this thick kind of line through here. It's really hard to see on a map. If you didn't walk through here, you wouldn't be able to tell that there's a change here unless you had like a leaf off picture. But there's a definite edge here. You can see it's real open here, and then that's just a wall of, you know, brush. So this is another area that I like to hunt. But like I say, I've never had much luck at it, so I'm trying to find a different edge here. You know, trying to find maybe I'm spooking them out of here when I come in to hunt it. I'm not really sure, so I'm trying to find some sign that would point me in the right direction. But, I mean, you've got thick cover that comes in this little open area here. And then back to thick cover, so we'll see what we can find. So this is another area that I've not really overlooked, but I don't think that I'm hunting it properly. What I have here is the inside corner of a all grown up pasture. We had a failed experiment of planting Christmas trees about 15 years ago, and then we just kind of cut them all down, and this pasture's just kind of gotten out of control, and now it's just thick brushy mess, which is great deer habitat. And then on the inside corner right here, you can see how the grass is lower. I actually plant a food plot here every year. I need to come in and kill the weeds. And there's a good trail kind of coming from this way, running down the edge up towards over there, and we were just scouting on the edge of those pines over there in that primary scrape area. So I think this is an area that I've not really hunted properly or hunted enough. I think that the deer bed up in this a lot. So what I'm gonna do is just make a little circle out there and see if I can find any beds of some rubs and maybe some sheds out there. So like I say, this is an area that I've overlooked in the years, so I'm gonna give it another look. Well, first headed hunt of the year was unsuccessful in the sense that we didn't find any sheds, but I did scout some areas that I've been wanting to scout. Found some sign that kind of opened my eyes to a few things that I've just now started to look into in this area. I'm going to try to change the way that I hunt this area, so I'm going to try to bring y'all along in that. I have 2 100-acre blocks here that my family's owned for a long time that I've been hunting my whole life, and I'm going to start hunting them a little differently. So I'm going to take you all along on that journey. So that's it for today. No sheds today, but we had some good scouting.